Welcome to Tangling Along with me. We are going to make a tile together today, and I just have a regular square tile here for that, a normal Zentangle tile. But first we are going to relax in our shoulders, our wrists and our hands. Take a deep breath. Just be grateful for today. Maybe for your family and your friends. Just be grateful. Yeah. So we are going to do this the traditional way with a dot in each corner of the paper, so that the paper isn't so white and bright anymore and you don't have to fear doing something wrong here. You already did something on it, so it's not clean anymore. Then we're going to connect the 4 dots together, and you might make a line that is a little less colored than mine, but I will leave that up to you. And as you see, your lines don't have to be straight. They can be curly, they can have a weird shape on there if you want to. And now we are going to make some stringing or string lines in here. I'm just gonna make a few different lines here, and remember, we don't have to follow these string lines if we don't feel like it. I think that's gonna be my string for today. And I am going to take my Micron PN in black, and I'm starting with that one. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to start with this pattern right here because I want that in this place here. So I'm going to start with the orbs. And normally you make the shape in between, but I'm just gonna do my orbs first and then the shape. That is this diamond shape that we are placing here in the middle. And I'm just gonna make sure it is hitting the wall here, and just leave it like that. And then we are going to make these upside down teardrop shapes here. First one in the middle and then one on each side. So here, first one in the middle and then one going from each of the side here of this diamond shape. Like that. And then we are going to make an aura around this one. So I'm starting here on this sideline of the string. And I'm just going to take my time going around the pattern here. And remember to turn your tile if needed. And on the other side as well. There we go. I'm going to cap this one, and I am taking my mono zero eraser. Normally this should not be necessary, because your string line shouldn't be that visible at all on your paper than mine are here. And they would normally disappear with the coloring in if you do that, and the shading and stuff like that. Then these guidelines would disappear nice and easy. I'm using my Pigma brush, and this is a green one, and it has a brush tip on the tip here. And that is a really nice one to color in bigger places like these diamonds here. And I'm just gonna color in all my diamonds with this. This is also a Sakura. I really like that brand. But maybe you like something better or different, another brand, better for you, maybe. Then just go ahead and use that. You don't need to use the brands that I am using here or the colors that I'm using. You could have done this with blue or yellow or red, maybe an orange, purple. You can also make these multicolored if you want to. Personally, I like to stick to 1 or 2 colors the most, beside of the black, of course, but you can do this just like you feel like. There we go. I really like that. I think that turned out really pretty. Let me go back to my black Micron. I think I am going to color in these orbs, just leaving a tiny sparkle here. And then color in the rest of these orbs. And the last one. There we go. Okay, so I want to put something more in here. Maybe here. Let's use this one, and let's take this pattern right here for this. Yeah, I'm gonna make a grid pattern right here. Sometimes I really have to think before I start a pattern just to make sure I get one that I like in here. Maybe sometimes I don't even know which color, which pattern I want in here, and then I really have to think about it first. So I'm just making my grid lines here. And when you have grid lines, you can actually put a lot of different things in here. But we already picked the pattern. And this is again one from the last page in our book. And I'm starting with these crisscrosses here. In this chessboard pattern. And as I don't have that many squares here, so I'm really fast done with that. And then we have that where we have the 2 dots here in each of these. And then we go from one end to the dot and down to the next dot and down to the next dot and so on. And from the other side as well, so that would be over here to this dot, down to a dot somewhere down there, and like that. And that was all there was to this pattern. So I'm going to take my green brush again, and I am going to decide to color this one in. And I'm just taking my time. and enjoying every stroke I am doing here. You could use the black one for this as well, but my black PN is almost dying, so coloring in these big areas with black is kind of difficult right now. So I'm just gonna use this one. And yes, I am really bad at throwing out things, so oh well. Up here, the same. Following my string line right here. And again, just coloring this in. That would be over here as well. And again, I'm just taking my time with this and enjoying it. So down here, and this piece would be green as well. And this place here. Just stop and watch if you are unsure of what to color in, and then just take your time and really look at your picture before you do it. I'm going back to my black, even though that this one is getting annoying to play with. And I'm going to color in these ends here with black. And I'm just gonna take my time with this. You can always pause my video or jump ahead if you don't like me taking a long time with these coloring in things. So you can just do that and then continue from there, or follow along. I will leave that up to you. And that is one of the reasons why I am not what's that called? Speeding up my videos, because I want you to be able to see everything from one end to the other, but I know you're also able to skip ahead or pause if you need to do that while watching these videos, and I think that's the best way to do it, so everyone can enjoy these videos in their ways. So just take your time. I could go fancy on these tiles with some jelly rolls and colors or with glitter in there, but I think I'm just gonna stay traditional on these for now, that is, with black and another color. But if you have some fancy jelly rolls you like, then please feel free to use those instead of the black or the green that I have here. You can even make some patterns in there instead of filling out these shapes if you want to. But it is good to have a blend of drama tangles and lighter tangles in here. If you have too many drama tangles, it will be a very heavy picture. And if you have too many of the light patterns in here, you won't have the drama in there. And somehow these tangles kind of need to have a little drama in there when they're all done. So that's also one reason why I am coloring this black, even though that my PN is struggling with the coloring in. I really need to get me a new one. So for those that are new on my channel, I normally take one tangle on my page in my book at the time, and I am following the tangles on tanglepatterns.com, taking them in alphabetic order, and I think we are doing really good with that. We are on the D's right now. I need to find me another PN. Yeah, let me do that. I will be right back. Oh, I couldn't find any more PNs in there, so I need to get me some new ones. But I found a O1, so I'm just gonna take that one. And this has a lot more ink in there than the PN has, so that's perfect with me. I could have used a 08 for this or a 010. That's not an 010, that's just a 10 for this if I wanted to. But right now I like to work with the smaller nib, so the 01 it is. And then I will have to get me some new PNs. Yeah, you could ask why I'm using the 01, why I'm using the PN more than the 01 here. That's because when I am on camera I am a bit nervous, and then I am pushing a little harder than I used to, and these 01s do not like that. So that's why I'm using the PN while working here on the screen. Let me see. I need another pattern. I think we're going to take this pattern right here, and I'm gonna pop it in here somehow. Maybe I should turn it like this and then do it up here and then kind of invert it. I'm gonna do that. So this one is kind of a string up, and then you make this spiral thing, and I'm just gonna end with a little dot there, and then you do the same with a smaller spiral and a dot, and then again up, making a big spiral and then a smaller spiral. Big spiral and smaller spiral, and so on until you're out of room. There we are. And then you just do the same over here next to the first one. First a big spiral, then a small spiral, and so on. I'm really not that good at this pattern, but I kind of like it. let's make a small one right here. As you see, there's nothing more to it. Now I am going in here and making kind of a thicker line here at the bottom, and kind of making these roundings here where the spiral meets the line. You don't really have to do this, but I think it's pretty. Gives it a little more to look at. So I'm kind of following the line and then just rounding it off at the bottom here. Starting at the line and rounding it off. And I'm gonna do the same over here. There we go. And that's actually all there is to this pattern. You could make a little rounding here where they're hitting the wall in front of them as well if you wanted to. But I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I like that one. Makes a nice pattern right there. Okay, next one. We have a lot of what's that called? Grid patterns in this last page, and I really wanna do something else than grids, but let's continue with this. Let's take this one. That's quite easy, and I think I'm gonna pop it in right here. So again, I'm making a grid. And I'm going to make this one tinier than the first grid, because this one is an easy pattern. So I'm just gonna do it tinier. Making my squares in the grid. And it's okay if it's a tiny bit wonky. Doesn't really matter. And then we're just going to go from one corner to the other. And it might not look like it, but I am taking one corner to this corner, and then one corner to the next corner, and so on. Here. And over here. And here. Like that. And now we are going in and finding our squares again. I'm finding one here, and I'm just making a line half the way, and then smaller lines here. So this is a bit different than the other ones. The original one, I'm starting at the middle point and then just auraing that line on both sides, going up the line, doing the same in the next one. In the original one, this would be all colored, but I think I'm gonna do it like this in this one. So jumping that one, now I need to be very careful. So that is here, the next square. Yes, that's right. It would have been a bit easier if it was bigger, but sometimes these patterns can be hard to see what is what in here. So this must be here. Yeah, all the triangular shapes that is pointing in that direction is having the lines, and we are leaving the rest of these. Actually, there should be a line right here, like that. And again, just take your time with this. There's no need for rush, and if you are not having enough time to make it done today, then just come back and do the rest of the tile tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, depending on when you have time for it. So just relax and take it easy. Doesn't need to be done today. Remember to breathe and relax in your arm and your shoulders, and just enjoy the process of doing these. I would like to do something with this pattern here in this one, so I am going to try this one. I don't really know how to do this because I have that. Let me make a line here, and then let's come from over here and then make this shape, and then from this side making the same shape just mirrored. I like these dots here. And then I need to think, because you have the lines, and in between the lines you are making these shapes. So I might have this one to go a little longer up, and then just make the teardrops here. Turn it over and make the teardrop here. And then these smaller rooms here should be colored in. So I'm just gonna do that. Just taking my time. There we go. And then we outline it with the small orbs, just like in the original. Oops. I'm not good at this today. Sometimes these orbs just work perfect for me, and other times it's like they don't want to line up or anything like that. So that was that pattern. Or will half of it, not even a half of it, a fourth of it. But I think it turned out really neat. right there. Let's do this one right here somewhere. Let's maybe try over here. I like to pop in some organics also. So we are going to start with the orb. And then from the orb, we are going up and making this spiral shape again. And again, I'm popping that little dot in there. And you can go and make kind of a thicker line up here at the top. So I'm just gonna do that. And the same over here. And I'm just gonna color that in black. There we go. And then we are starting from here, going up and around and into the dot. And the same over here, up, around and into the dot. And this got a little wonky, but I can correct it a tiny bit with this darker top line here. Coloring that in. There we go. And then it's ending off with this little spiral shape on top. That's a pattern. And then you can make as many of these as you want to. So I'm just making one right here. Maybe a smaller one. Whoops. And a wonky one. And I like this top line to be nice and bold. And I am going to end this one off right here. You don't need to have the two layers. It looks good when you have, but you don't really need to. The orb, oh, that was scratching. Then one of these spiral lines and then the other spiral lines. Again, making the top here nice and bold. And the other side as well. I think I'm gonna do this with the normal one here. So one more time, making the top nice and bold. On both sides. And ending off with the spiral. Let's make one over here. So the dot, the spiral, and again making the top piece here, top line, very bold. You don't need to do this, but I really like this bold look here on the top line, and I don't have room for more, so I'm just gonna close it off. Let's pop in a small one right here, another wonky one, and I think I'm gonna close that one off as well. And then maybe make these small dots. I always pop 3 dots in there at the time when I'm using these dots here, unless I'm using a pattern as what's it called? Oh, I just forgot the name of them. Tibbles, of course. You could make tibbles around here, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. Pop the cap on that one. Take my green, that is still the brush I have here, because I want to color in these orbs here, all green, just to have a little green on this side as well. There we go. I like that. I could make something over here, but somehow I really like that there isn't anything over there. You could put in a pattern here if you want to, but I actually kind of like it like this, so I'm just gonna take my eraser here and erase my string line, because again my string line is really visible when I'm making my videos, and I don't like that in the end result. Normally I don't draw my string line that visible, so it is kind of disappearing while I'm working on the tangle, but here it is not working like that. I have no reason for using my white charcoal here, because it's white on white and you won't see it anyway, so it doesn't matter unless I am using it on top of some black or the green maybe, but I'm not gonna do that. I could use a green charcoal, making some fun with that, but let's just stay with the graphite here. So I'm just gonna start here at the bottom at this tangle here, and taking my Tortillion and using my circle motions to drag it up the tangle. I think I could go in and pop a little in here at the top of these bigger ones, just to give it a little more interest. And then maybe just with what's on the Tortillion, make kind of a shadow here along the line there. I like that. In this one I am going to just pop a tiny bit in these ends and down here, again using my Tortillion to soften that out. And I want the middle piece here to be white, so I'm not dragging it all the way to the other side, just leaving it like that. This one down here, I am going to place a tiny bit of graphite here underneath these lines. Like that, and then make that into a nice little shadow. There we go. And here I am just going to follow this outline. like that, using my Tortillion to make it into a nice shadow. There we go. And I think I'm gonna pop in a tiny bit here in these, I think we can call them leaves. And then just soften that out a tiny bit. I'm gonna turn my tile and I'm gonna make the shading here on this side. Oh, and I jumped the black here because on the black it is going almost silvery. So I'm just jumping that part and then popping in the shadow here on the rest of it. And you won't even see it on the black anyway, so just skip that. Careful on the ink, because it could be still a little moist or wet, so you could actually ruin the paper with the Tortillion on that wet paper. There we go. I had a few places where I got some graphite that I don't want in this aura line here. There we go. Let's see, this one maybe down here around the little orb. Oh, I forgot one. Back to the green. Color in this little orb here as well. There we go. Using my Tortillion to soften out the shading. If you want the shading darker, you can just go in again with your graphite and give it a little more. And if you want less, then just try with the Tortillion only, because there will be some graphite on the Tortillion that's kind of stuck there. I like that. Just using what's on my Tortillion right now. I'm not sure what to do with this pattern right here. I'm not sure I want to do anything much. Again, just using what I have on my Tortillion here. I think I'm gonna end there. I kind of like this tile as is, so I think I am going to stop right there, finding my Micron. This is now the 01 instead of the PN, and I'm gonna pop my chop in here somewhere. I'm just gonna pop it in here like that. My dad actually always told me to put it here in this corner here when you're done with a picture. Put your sign it and a chop here. So my chop is actually made a long time ago, where my dad told me that I needed one. I think I was around 10 years ago, 10 or 12 when he told me. So this little bow has been with me for a very long time now. Anyway, I think this came out really cute. I like it. Nothing fancy, just a very nice little tile that you can use for hanging up on your wall or whatever you like to, maybe even as a bookmark. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have an attitude of gratitude.